Hello and welcome to the One-Eyed Fan, where we discuss AFL topics from a biased perspective. Tonight we'll be discussing the winners and losers of the AFL trade period and announcing our winners of the Bartel and Meatloaf Awards. With me is the reformed Eagle Grillsy.
G'day, Grillsy.
And Langers, the unbiased Pie.
G'day, legends. How are you?
And I am Figman, and I support the greatest team of all, the Mighty Cats. The Meatloaf Award for the worst player of the 2017 AFL Finals series has been hotly debated over the last 2 weeks here at the One-Eyed Fan. Our leading contenders have been thus far Gary Rowan, Shane Mumford, Josh Jenkins and Tom Hawkins. But to announce the top three and winner is our unbiased Pie, Langers.
Ladies and gents, thanks very much, and what an honour it is to announce the inaugural Meatloaf Award. And for all of the new listeners out there, the Meatloaf Award is awarded to the worst finals performance of this series, and will continue on throughout the seasons, and given to Meatloaf because of his absolutely horrible and cringe-worthy performance at the 2011 Grand Final. As Brian mentioned, we had some great contenders across the final series. Tom Hawkins, Gary Rowan went missing in some stages. Shane Mumford just did not have a lot of impact. Brett Delidio came back to not do much for GWS. But after dismal efforts, even in their wins, I'd say, kicking junk time goals, Josh Jenkins takes out the inaugural Meatloaf Award after backing up his poor form with a one-touch first half in a grand final, and arguably was outworked by the Crows' water runners. So congratulations, Josh Jenkins. You are the inaugural Meatloaf Award. Well done.
Thanks, Langers. That's definitely a worthy winner for a terrible 2017 final series. Now, the Jimmy Bartel Award is to recognise the best player of the 2017 final series, and with memorable performances from Dangerfield, Martin, Hooley, Shuey, and Hardwick's extraordinary 2017 coaching performance, unfortunately, there can be only one winner. And to announce the top three and our winner of the inaugural Jimmy Bartel Award is Grillsy.
Yes, it was a hotly contested AFL final series, or so we all thought before it began, because most games are all one-sided. There was only one final of mention in the whole series that came down to anything but a close game, and up stepped a young man by the name of Luke Shippey. We all remember that moment, and we'll remember that for the rest of our lives. He'll get third position in the Bartel for this final series. And in the second position, there's a young chap playing with Adelaide who's now jumped ship and heading back towards Brisbane by the name of Charlie Cameron. And in that prelim final against Geelong, he literally pulled their pants down. He was doing it all, running at will through the centre, chucking hangers in goal squares. Geelong had no answer. He is the runner-up and the inaugural winner, and do I even have to bother saying the name? Dustin Martin. I mean, he's won everything. He's got horses winning races. There's greyhounds named after him winning races. He's won a lot. I think Lee Matthews was right, and he got lambasted for it with about one round left in the AFL season when he said it's the best year he's ever seen anyone play. Well, Lee Matthews, you were right.
Well done.
Well done. Thanks, Grillsy. And Dusty truly did have an amazing season, winning everything a midfielder could possibly win. Thanks, gentlemen, and thank you, One-Eyed fans, for voting throughout the final series. With the trade period behind us, it's time to discuss the biggest winners and losers of the silly season. With rumours bouncing across all media outlets about the comings and goings, 27 players found new homes, with 22 trades concluding on the final day, 13 in the last 2 hours. Out of this frenzy, there has to be clear winners and losers. And first up to discuss his winner of this year's trade period is Grillsy. So, Grillsy, who was the winner of this year's trade period?
My winner might sound a bit funny to some people, but I believe it's Carlton. They got a hell of a lot for Bryce Gibbs for a 29-year-old who hasn't got much left in him, and he's not going to be in Carlton's next pursuit of a grand final victory. So my clear winner in this trade period was definitely Carlton. some people might say that, Melbourne did okay and all that sort of thing, but it's just Carlton.
Thanks, Grillsy. So Carlton, the winner for Grillsy. Langers, who do you think won the draft period?
This is once again going a little bit left field here, as I tend to do. But I've actually got the Melbourne Demons as scoring the best for this trade period. Not only did they pick up Jake Lever, probably the hottest talent that's going around in the AFL, but they got rid of Jack Watts. What an absolute win. If I was a Melbourne supporter, I would be dancing in the streets like I've just come back from the World War. At last, we got rid of him. So, mate, my trade winner, the Demons.
The Demons. Well, thank you, Langers. For me, Port Adelaide and Essendon were definitely up for debate after their signing of key players. However, the clear winner was the Cats. Their trade of picks with Richmond. Their trade of picks. I'm going to tell you why. Their trade of picks with Richmond allows them to pick up Oscar Brownless, son of Billy, under the father-son rule in next year's draft. They broke even with Carlton, trading Darcy Lang for pick 58 and elevating their second-round pick in next year's Super Draft after most experts believe this year's draft to be thin. They were able to offload an awfully expensive contract with Stephen Motlop and receive pick 19 in return as compensation, as Port Adelaide decided that he was worthy of being paid in the top 5% of players in his age bracket, believe it or not. This allowed the Cats to strike a deal with the Suns to now boast the most decorated midfield of all time. Dunkwood Field Lit Jr. will now be terrorising opposition midfields on their way to the 2018 Premiership.
Oh, that is classic.
Now, with the winners aside, there has to be a loser, and discuss his biggest loser of the trade period is Grillsy. So, Grillsy, who lost the trade period?
Oh, there was a clear winner this year. It was GWS. They lost some very good quality players like this Wilson bloke. I don't know if you've seen many GWS games, but he has got the potential to be an absolute superstar running off the halfback flank. Devon Smith, they've lost him as well, a good little half-forward flanker, the chance to go into the midfield as he develops, and also lost Kennedy to Carlton as well, and did not pick up a single player themselves in return. So for me, that's just a standout loser for the whole period was GWS. Some teams didn't pick up players, but they didn't lose the quality of players that GWS has.
Yeah, it's a great point. Yeah, thanks, Grillsy. Langers, what are your thoughts?
Well, I'm still trying to compose myself after your little rant. Mate, look, there was obviously some teams to lose some high class and quality players, but look, for my loser, it's Brisbane. Look, arguably they picked up Hodge, who does have the resume, but can he produce the results? I'm not too sure. But they lost Shackey and they lost Rockcliffe. I mean, Rockcliffe, an ex-captain of 2 years ago, best and fairest winner, one of their best ball getters, and Josh Shackey, one of their youngest talents. They just continue to leak players out of that club. So I think there's something wrong with the club and their culture. And they're my loser.
Righto, thanks, Langers. Yeah, it's a tough time. Although they did pick up Charlie Cameron, I think.
Never heard of him.
Never heard of him. He was runner-up in this year's Bartel Award, just to fill you in there, Langers. Right. For me, it was a tie between North Melbourne and Collingwood. Both clubs were in discussion for almost every big fish in the trade period, from Dusty to Watts. However, both teams failed to make a significant signing. North Melbourne also lost the regular first 18 player of the past 5 years for pittance in Sam Gibson, and it looks now as though the Roos are looking to rebuild through this draft. As for the Pies, their desperation for relevance this year led to picking up a Sydney no-namer. It seems that everyone has acknowledged they are going nowhere. It's no longer a destination club. And who can blame a player for not wanting to be the next Adam Treloar? Okay, well, thanks, gents. And thanks, one-eyed fans, for watching. Do you agree with our biased opinions? Either way, we would love your feedback. So please leave a comment below. And if you'd like to hear more from the One-Eyed Fan, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and like our Facebook page. We'll be back soon for more biased views. And as we say here at the One-Eyed Fan, if you're not one-eyed, you're not a fan.